Hello, and welcome back to the final installment of our Attorney Advertising 101 series. I'm John from White Raven Technology, and this week we'll be wrapping things up with a discussion on budgeting for your advertising and your future success. So, if you're ready to wrap things up, let's get started. We've talked a lot over the last 6 videos about the 3 top ad platforms, plus remarketing, including how you'll be billed for running campaigns. But we haven't talked about how much you should expect it to actually cost you in order to get results. So that will be the main focus, without getting down to nickels and dimes for each platform for today's entry. The first 2 things to say about your advertising budget or ad spend are, number 1, advertising online in the legal space is expensive. And number 2, you must be willing to invest enough to get statistically significant data in order to improve your return on investment. 78 of the top 100 and 9 of the top 10 most expensive keywords in AdWords are related to legal services. To put it in real terms, the number 1 most expensive AdWords keyword according to Search Engine Watch is Best Mesothelioma Lawyer at $935.71 per click. Thankfully, most keywords in most markets won't be nearly that expensive, but no matter how low you can get your cost per click, there's still that second important point to consider. Far too many businesses, especially in industries for which advertising is particularly expensive, will test an AdWords or Facebook or LinkedIn campaign and spend $100 or even $1,000, fail to get the results they want, and deem online advertising a waste of money and time. The problem is that such limited ad spends don't yield results, good or bad, that are sufficient to actually make a meaningful decision on. If you only get 10 clicks for your $100 or even 100 clicks for your $1,000, and especially if you're split testing and trying different tactics in the beginning, you simply cannot judge an ad or a campaign a success or a failure yet. So, bearing these 2 points in mind, it is absolutely critical before you ever launch an ad or even start planning a campaign to recognize, accept, and plan to spend enough to get meaningful data. As an agency, we typically require our clients to spend at least $2,000 per month and commit to at least 3 months in order to establish a plan of attack, measure our results, and begin optimizing a client's ad campaigns for profitability. Whether you're outsourcing your marketing, you have in-house staff to manage it, or you're planning to manage your ads yourself, you should plan on a similar budget if you expect to get results that mean something. Now, the caveats. Number 1, your market may be small enough that you would have to really try to even spend that much. If your local area is fairly small, you can probably do quite well with much less, but even then it's not guaranteed. Number 2, you can absolutely spend 10 times the recommended starting amount and still never see a lead. Especially if you live in a competitive area, I highly recommend that you find a consultant or hire a marketing manager before wasting thousands of dollars. Think of it this way. I can Google case law all day long, but does that really make me any more competent to represent myself in court? Now, that's the other part of budgeting for your advertising, isn't it? If you're planning to hire an agency or outsource your marketing to a contractor, or even if you're hiring an in-house team to manage your marketing, you'll have to consider those costs separately from your ad spend. I've written about the cost of digital marketing services on our blog before, and there's a link to that article in the article for this video, so I won't go into a great deal of detail here. But keep this rule in mind. There are a lot of people who will tell you they can implement AdWords or Facebook or SEO or any of a myriad of digital marketing techniques for pennies on the dollar, but as in most things, you'll get what you pay for. If you're planning to hire out your advertising management, I would expect to pay no less than $1,500 to $2,500 per month per advertising platform as a management fee. Now, there's a good chance that your agency will offer bundle deals if you want to advertise with AdWords and Facebook, for instance, and you might find a competent agency much more cheaply. But the real point I mean to make is this: good work costs good money. The expertise required to deliver the very best results for your ad dollars is not easily earned. You don't have to invest that much in ad spend or for management of your advertising to earn a tidy profit. Just be aware that if you aren't an expert in online advertising, you will waste money as you learn, just as each of us marketers did ourselves. Now, very briefly, I want to step back and talk big picture and planning for your future success in online advertising. So let's talk about a few big points that can be applied to your ad planning. Number 1, know your client. We talk a lot about knowing who your target market is to the tiniest details. If you're going to write effective ad copy or produce high-performing ad imagery and campaigns in general, you must know who you're writing it for. Number 2, tell a story. There's a time and place for data and statistics and for detailing how successful your firm is and so forth, but it shouldn't be the focus of your advertising. Use your advertising to tell a story or to tap into your prospective clients' stories. Describe the fear in a DUI situation and then how best to deal with it. Discuss how planning for one's estate can ease the burdens of both the planner and his family. There's an art to doing this well in a brief form, but you'll do much better to connect with your prospect rather than to blast him with a list of facts and all 50 of your practice areas. And number 3, commit for the long haul. If there's nothing else you take from this entry or this series as a whole, I hope it's this: commit to your success. That doesn't just mean spending a certain amount of money, but rather committing to invest in learning what you need to know, trusting someone who knows it better than you do when it makes sense, and planning to give every effort as much time and energy and consideration as is required in order to optimize and let the winners emerge. Follow these principles, and while I can't guarantee millions of dollars in the bank, I can guarantee you will be on the right path to get you where you want to be. Well, folks, that's all for this entry and the Attorney Advertising 101 series. I sincerely hope we've been able to share valuable information with you as you seek to figure out the world of online advertising. As always, and whether you happen to have seen this on the day it was published, or a year or 5 years down the road, if you have any questions at all, ask away. We'd love to help. And until we meet again, happy marketing.